Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new playlist. We have the Blood Bowl 3 World Championships. They've just started yesterday, I think, as I'm recording this. Obviously, whenever you watch this, that won't be the case. Um, Before we start the casts, I thought we'd try a little. Let's have a look at the teams and do a little predicky of the different things. No talking head in the corner, no cam from me. Maybe in the future you'll get to see my old battered face, but for now we're gonna stick with Coach Hopper down in the corner. I'm not going to be covering games live. We'll do them all as replays. I don't have any real interest in watching people think for like 2 minutes at a time. Jimmy will cover those games if he wants to do them live. I'm more interested in the replays. Um, we'll find out if the replays are broken. Well, I'm not entirely certain if they are or they aren't. We'll find out together in the in the next list. In case they are, I am downloading them and I'll just do them in the future. There's a lot of games. Fair warning, if you're starting this playlist on YouTube, if it ends suddenly, it's because there's too many games and too many of them are rubbish. And I've just given up. But we'll try to use them. There are a number of games here where it's a couple of players who should be decent enough. And then obviously there's a number of games where one of the coaches is very good. So we'll just be able to only freak out about the other half, the other coach in those games. But first of all, let's look through the different teams. Let's have a little predicky game of who's going to win. I am going to be biased if I know a player's name. I'm probably going to assume they're better. That's not always going to be the case. There are going to be people who are come from things I don't get to see. There may be good players around the world who only play in certain leagues or foreign language areas and don't play on Blood Bowl 3 maybe, or they play on Blood Bowl 3 but only in leagues or only in arena. So I don't know their names. So just because I don't know you doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you're likely less practice, which is why I assume you're bad. I'm happy to correct that assumption based on real play. So starting off, this is match day one. So what we've got here are the play-ins. How the World Championships work is there were two different ways of qualifying via, well, technically there are 100 different ways of qualifying, but the type of ticket you got from qualifying was either a play-in ticket or a straight to the cup ticket. Play-in tickets means you're in this. These are the play-ins. They last a few weeks. They go through this 3-day tournament. You win twice and you move on. So, or whether you lose twice and you're out, same thing. And half of these players will move on. The other half will go home. The half that move on were the 32 that move on will go into the group stage, which is a bunch of different groups of 4, and waiting for them there are the 32 people who direct qualified. I don't know what Cyanide used to decide which was a direct qualifying competition and which was a play-in competition. A Ouija board, like some old chicken bones, who knows. But this is the play-ins, the lesser of the two qualifying tickets, because you have to play more games to get to the money stage. So we'll see. And some people just didn't bother trying for the other stuff. Once they got a ticket, it's only a few games. You expect good players. You can see some on you when we get to them to get through this round anyway. So it doesn't really matter that they only got a play-in ticket. It does obviously give them a small problem of they could just get diced for a game or two and then they're out. But hopefully that doesn't happen to any of the good players, because we'd like as many good players as possible in the money rounds so that they're really good games. So let's go. Like, I don't know how well this will work. This is just an intro So we'll see how this works. So the first game is Fufale versus Space Corbin. Fufale, okay player. Never heard of Space Corbin, so just based on the names, I'm going with Fufale. But let's look at the teams, because some of these are going to offset. Like, they're going to be bad matchups racially, or someone's going to have made their team real badly for some reason. Looking at you, Manil. So Fufale here. Rats, and it looks like a pretty standard rat build. Doesn't have actually, it's not that standard, is it? So he's gone for it's so the problem is this is Galentio's site. Great work, like, because he does it for nothing, right? So shout out to Galentio. Not my biggest fan, but shout out to him anyway, because this is great work. Small problem is, and I don't think he can fix it, the skills show up in alphabetical order, which means that you have to find sometimes the skill that they've chosen over the skill that they already came with. So, for example, this is a Juggernaut Roger, and the Juggernaut is hidden in the middle because in alphabetical order, J comes in the middle. That's going to happen a lot. So, just prepare. I mean, obviously, the Gutlers come with dodge, and they've taken block, and block is first because B is before D, that kind of thing. So, we'll have to work out sometimes which skill people have taken. So we've gone for a Jugs Roger, we've gone block, Mighty Blow Guard, which is completely fine. And then we've got block, wrestle, which is okay. I think this is a fine build, but you will see rats trying to lean into like the one turn with a sidestep gutter, or the sack with a strip gutter. I don't mind this. And then he's got a naked gutter at the end for a leader thrower, which gives him 13 men and 2 rerolls and leader, which is okay. We'll see how he sets up the play. Sometimes people leave the leader off, which gives them only 2 rerolls on defense, but it guarantees at least 1 reroll for the 1 turn. But normally, if you're going to do that, you'd have a sidestep gutter because it makes the 1 turn easier. So he doesn't do that, so we'll see how he plays. And then on the other side, we have Necro. I think Necro into Rats is a good matchup for the Necro. They didn't really have a problem like getting rid of the traditional harassy style because of the flesh golems and wraiths. Can't get 1 diced into compromising positions, can't get red diced into compromising positions because it's stand firm and sidestep. So, and we've gone for a block wolf, only 1 wolf, so we can get 2 ghouls, which are wrestle and block, and then 4 guard on these. One of the standard builds for Necro. 3 rerolls, 13 men. That's the, like, you get the extra 40 TV. Sometimes you'll see 2 wolves and 1 ghoul. Probably better. But this is one of the standard builds. I'm still going to go Fufale because I've never heard of Space Corbin, but the Necro into Rats might even that up a bit. So, interesting game. Next up, we have Manil and Bembo Baggins. You heard of them both. Manil's the better player. However, as we'll find out, Manil, we thought he'd read the rules wrong, because this is one of the weirdest Dark Elf teams I've ever seen in my life. We thought he'd read the rules wrong and had given his players all separate skills, because he has given his players leader, wrestle, tackle, strip, dodge, and sidestep, which is frankly bizarre. And he's got 11 players, no Apo, and 4 rerolls, which is even more bizarre. So yeah, it's awful. Like, frankly, it's an awful build. I don't know what else to say about it. It's real bad. Like, it's just real bad. So Bembo, having seen the name Manil and Dark Elves, and the thing is, right, if he had the real build of multiple blodge, he's got lizards, which is so good when you've just gone all blodge, but he's got 1 blodge. And he's got lizards. Lizards with the one of the alternate builds. The normal build for lizards is just straight 6 block, but 5 block and something else in air quotes is also a completely normal build. That something else could be Wrestlesaurus, a Frenzysaurus, a Guardsaurus, a guard Crocs, but this time we've got a stand firm Crocs. Again, totally normal. 11 players plus the Chameleon Skink, 2 rerolls and Napo. I think, thanks to the terrible build of the Dark Elves, I'm giving this to Bembo. If Manil had a real team, I'd give it to Manil without question, but I think Bembo takes this. Next up, we have Torquemada. No Vamps in this. Vamps only just came out, so no Vamps in the World Cup. So you won't see Torquemada with Vamps. Versus Nuru. Both of them good players, so reasonable matchup as far as skill is concerned. Torquemada's gone with Dwarves, which is kind of interesting. I thought we'd see him on Renegades, seeing as that seems to be his second favourite team. But he's gone Dwarves, and he's gone guard heavy. 12 Dwarves, 6 guard, and a Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow on the blocker, not on the Slayer, which is also interesting. Slayer has no skills, in fact. Double Runner, also with no skills. Amusingly named team, by the way. So, yeah, 3 rerolls, Apo, and 3 assistant coaches. It's a pretty bland dwarf team. I feel like you could have got away with 5 guard and then stuck Mighty Blow on the Slayer. So you'd have something better to do. It gives you 2 Mighty Blow. It gives you a good Mighty Blow on the Slayer rather than just the Mighty Blow tackle for the dodge teams. But yeah. And he's got humans, which is unfortunate for Nuru because that's one of the things that dwarf teams are looking for, is to beat up shit bash teams like humans. Whereas humans are looking to beat up elves, and they've got dwarves. Worse than that, he's now outguarded by like considerably amount because he's taken a block ogre, the Mighty Blow tackle stack, triple guard, and then a block and wrestle Lino with nothing on the catches. So, yeah, 3 rerolls and Apo, 14 players, one of which is the halfling toss. So I got to give this to Torque, probably just through virtue of attrition. These games, I should say, are, there's no draws, so they are overtime based. So rerolls are more important, and attrition is more important. So I think this goes to Torque on attrition. Next up, we've got Pikachu versus Gorga Bay. Just on the names, giving it to Gorga Bay. Will the matchups change that? Pikachu with Elven Union, and he's gone for Blodgestep Tackle as the stack. I don't like that. I think that's a bad choice. I think the only 2 stacks you should consider are Wrestle Strip on a catcher and Block Frenzy. Sorry, not Block. Dodge Frenzy on a Blitzer. Anything other than that, I think, is less than. So, like, because he could just get a team where Tackle's useless, right? I think so. Putting it on a stack, especially, real bad. Blodge Step, and then we got double catchers with Dodge. And then down here, we've got a Sprint catcher, which is okay, like, for a 1-turn, but a high kind. And we've got a leader on the thrower, so we got 3 rerolls and leader. And then we've got a spear thrower. I assume that's just because the money works out that way. Which gives him 12 men, but no Apo. So because of the sprint catcher, I'm assuming this thrower stays off. And keep the reroll for the 1-turn, like in rat style. And then we try to 1-turn with the catcher. But again, if that was the case, Frenzy would be so much better here. Frenzy for a 1-turn, way better than Tackle. So if you're going to lean into a 1-turn like that, you should take a 1-turning skill. Which makes me think not so great. And we've got better elves from Gorga Bay, and it's a slightly better build, but it is the European build with an assassin. Sorry, kind. Assassins are just rubbish. Like, I don't get why the Europeans like them. They're just so rubbish. massive vulnerability that you have to babysit the entire game. We got 11 men and an Apo, 4 Blodge Blitzers, 1 Wrestle Witch, and a shitty Assassin. So both of these teams I don't like. I'm still giving it to Gorga Bay. At least the Assassin can do something against Pro Elves. Oh, I wish I hadn't started coughing during this, what is going to be a long video. Excuse me, my condition sometimes kicks in at the worst times. Next up, we have Will Shoebox versus Puppet Justice. No, not. I've heard of Puppet Justice, but I don't know how good he is. However, he's brought goblins, so I'm going with whatever the hell Will Shoebox has brought, because the other one's goblins. Oh, okay, he's brought Norse, which does give the goblins some hope with the old Armor 7 against a bunch of Mighty Blow. I mean, you have to babysit a runner too, kind. So I don't particularly love the runner, but the runner can give you the double witch build, which is PC's build, which I think is considerably better than the assassin builds. Like, I don't think it's even close. So amusingly, Goblin Cannon named here. So we got the. It's hard to work out what we've got here. What have we got here? The Dodge Valk and a Wrestle Valk. That's what they are. We got a stack on the Ulf for block guard, which isn't bad. Guard Ulf, guard Berserker, guard Lino, because that's a secondary. And then a dirty player Lino, and then a bunch of Linos down to 13 men and 2 beer boars. God damn. 3 rerolls and an Apo. Not great for the goblins. 15 players. Even if 2 of them are boars, there's still 13 actual players. When you're hoping to win by attrition as goblins. Oh, yeah. I remember this team now. So, yeah. So the goblins are allowed 2-star players, and he's got Fungus and Balgrot, Ripper, which is, Mighty Blow. The Troll has Mighty Blow, but it doesn't come with block, doesn't come with guard, comes with leader, because this is a 1 reroll build, which is, quite the interesting thing. I'm in Blood Bowl 3 client in the background, so I'm going to look to see how many bribes he's got by looking up his profile a second. Give me a second, because he's got a lot of goblin teams to look through, and I didn't think of this before right now. Two bribes and a biased ref is what he's got to go with this team. It is kind, thank you. Which is pretty good. And he's used his second stack for pass and accurate on his bomber, which I hate. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot to invest in a bomber, which you have to hide. And you have to hide the goblin, the loony, and you have to hide the hooligan. Like, there's a lot of hiding. But if they win the toss, they can just go rampaging, right? He's got 3 Mighty Blow. Fungus can hit, like, half the team. He can foul something to death. He can blitz with a chainsaw against Norse, which is, incredibly high percentage chance of taking him down, whereas normally it's real annoying to blitz with the chainsaw and, fail to break armor. But against the Norse, massive percentage chance. So Norse does give him a chance of just absolutely destroying his opponent. So we will be cheering them on, obviously, because it's goblins. We always cheer on the crappy teams. He has got some other skills as well. I just don't care about it. They're goblins. So just for fun, I'm going to give that to Puppet Justice. Next up, we have Leash and Wenteros. Just based on the names, I'm going to give it to Wenteros. I say leash, by the way, for the Americans who watch this, who I know Americans like to say lich. I'm British, so I'm saying leash. I think Leash pronounces his own name Lich, but I don't know if that's because, like, he's American. I don't really know how that works. Maybe I should be pronouncing it Lich because that's how he pronounces it, but it's only secondhand I've heard that. He hasn't told me himself. And we have the 2 werewolf necro build again with the 4 guard, double block on the wolves, and he's gone for a Shuahan school, which when you've got 3 rerolls, I don't like. I prefer it to be a blodge school. If you've got, like, for some reason the build is not right for you or the tiering is not right for you, you've got 2 rerolls, then Shuahans is okay. But 3 rerolls, you take blodge. Because, once you got the ball in hand, you don't want a blockless ball carrier. And Wenteros also on Necro. Necro very popular. And he's got the double ghoul build. And he's gone Blodge and Rodge. Single werewolf with block. And then 4 guard. So I think a slightly better build. I do prefer the 2 wolf build. But he's ruined it by his one ghoul having sure hands. So even though this build, I would like if he had Blodge, this would be the slightly better build. But he doesn't, so this is the slightly better build. And he's already the player that I think would win, so I'm going to give that to Wenteros. Next up, we have Clayfinity versus Urians. Not a clue, based on people. Chaos Chosen, though. And a really, really bland Chaos Chosen team. 1 guard as a stack on a blocker. He's taken block on the Ogre and block on everyone. Block on 4 Chosen. He's taken block on a Beastman. Then he's got a Sure Hands Beastman. I think this should have been the stack. So you could have had 2 block, 2 guard, and then the stack for a Beastman, Sure Hands, and block for your ball carrier. Wrestle and Frenzy are okay because they go with horns. But I don't like this build. And who's he facing? Orcs. Yeah, okay, I'm giving it to the Orcs. I don't even have to look at the build. I mean, okay, I do have to look at the build. They also have forgotten the guard exists. Only guard on the troll, 2 naked big guns, and he's given all of his skills down here. He's got a goblin with a skill. Ugh. Okay. Can they both lose? You got a blitzer with tackle, a blitzer with frenzy. They're okay, but he's got a thrower with leader and a goblin with sneaky git. Yeah, I don't like either of those teams, so I guess I don't care who wins. Next up, we have Slavko versus Aerok. Again, not a clue. Necro with 4 guard, double wolves. One has wrestle and a blodge ghoul. Okay, this build is fine. 3 rerolls, 12 players, and then he's up against humans, so I'm giving it to the Necro. This is a decent human build. It's the one you'll see. Guard on the Ogre, Mighty Blow tackle stack as usual. Triple guard and guard on catcher, so 5 guard on this build. Okay, I see you, Eric. This is decent. Block on a catcher. 3 rerolls, Apo, 14 players, no halfling. Oh no, this there, sorry. Hit it in the middle. Has got a halfling, so 13 players and a halfling. Okay. A little bit stronger than I thought. Alright. Let's go for the underdog team with the humans. I'm going with you, Eric. I like your build. Next up, we've got Killtrain versus Mongloom. Based on names, it's Mongloom. And we've got an interesting Norse build because he's got 1 Ulf and the Yeti. Don't see many Yetis in Norse builds, so he's decided to lean into a Yeti, and it leaned into it a lot. He's given it the secondary. Hello, Emily. He's given it the secondary, which is block, and he's gone for a Valk with... Wait, what? He's gone for a Blodge Valk with a stack on top of a block Yeti, and a leader Valk to go with his 2 rerolls. He's gone for it with a block Ulf, a DP, kick, which is very interesting, and a Shuahan's Lino. Quite the odd build. Yes, but this is like for the start of the VODs, Dembeek, so shush. And it's a Norse mirror with Mongloom with a slightly more normal Norse team, where we have the Dodge Valk, we have a Rodge Valk, 2 unskilled Ulfs, which gives him no guard. He's gone for a tackle Norse, a DP Norse, Mighty Blow Berserker, and then a bunch of bench. 13 players, 2 boars, 3 rerolls, and an Apo. Ugh. The other team has a chance of just twatting him off the board. No guard. But I think Mongloom's better, so we'll stick with Mongloom. Next up, we have Padawan versus Matt. No idea. I do like that this coach is just called Matt, though. Padawan with Necro and a standard 2-wolf build, although he has a Rodge Ghoul. Okay, I say standard and then immediately has a weird ghoul. Feels like that means he's going to carry on a wolf because you don't want to carry on wrestle. Bit weird. And then Matt has Dark Elves with... See, this is an interesting build. 11 players, Apo, but only 2 rerolls, but 4 Blodge Blitzers, Blodge Witch, Wrestle Witch. This build is superior to the Assassin build by a mile. It's just vulnerable to damage, obviously, and we have double claw here. And you can't surf anything because it's Necro, so a bit of a problem. So I'm going to give it to Padawan, even though this is the good build, because he's just got a bad matchup. Dark Elves into Necro, bad matchup. Next up, we have one of the more interesting games. Azagal from Spain versus Valley. Good coach versus very good coach. So just on coaches, it's Valley. But as you can probably guess from the names and symbols, It's a bad matchup for Veli because Azagal has brought dwarves against pro elves. But he's only got 2 rerolls because if you scroll to the bottom, he's got a death roller. There's a death roller in the World Cup, which is, you know, fun, sure, and could absolutely destroy pro elves. The extra mighty blow, considering he's also gone double mighty blow on double slayers. Like, this is a full banger build. He's brought 4 guard, double mighty blow slayers, a block runner, and then a death roller. This is a man who wants to do all of his damage in the first half and then win in regular time. And he's got an armor 7 team. So sorry, Vel. Veli's going to daka the shit out of him, I'm sure. So we have got an elf blitzer with guard. I don't like this build, Vel. I really don't like this build. We're already in with a secondary on the elf blitzer that now doesn't have dodge. I hate guard on elf teams, by the way. I don't understand it. When is that ever coming in handy? Especially on a non-blodger. And the other blitzer is blodge step tackle. This feels like it's made to just beat up other pro elf teams and nothing else. I hate this build. Double wrestle catchers, dodge catcher. Does have a leader to go with 3 rerolls, so lots of rerolls. But only 12 players, and then we've got a sneaky git, which, you know, you can't get caught because you've only got 12 players and your armor 7. This build, absolutely atrocious. So I'm giving that to Azagal, which is a shock. First shock, I think, of this round, because normally I would give it to Veli all day, every day. But I assume he was drunk when he made this team, because it's atrocious. Next up, we have Jim versus Dr. SLM, obviously based on the coaches. It's Jim's all day. And I know that Jim is playing Necro, which is a good matchup into Rats. Again, for the reason that I said. Rats like doing 2 things. 1 turn-in and harassing. And Necro like being good against 2 things. 1 turn-in and harassing. It's the 2 things they're built to, like, resist. So, yeah, horrible matchup for Rats. Which is Necro. Jim's build is the double ghoul, 1 werewolf build. And look, Blodge Rog, correct, 4 guard. This is the build. Double werewolf, I think, is better for most players. At top end, like Jim, double ghoul, werewolf, 3 rerolls, 13 players. Perfectly fine build. You can only blitz once with like a turn, so you've got your wolf and you're likely to not screw up and get your wolf clipped or stuck, so the 1 wolf is fine for top level players. And let's have a look at the Rats.
Happy Kami and Nkrumah Memorial Day.
Thank you very much, Rogue, and for people in the VOD, you will know that this was recorded on Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, so if you're from that country, happy day. We have the Juggernaut Roger, guard and tackle on the blitzers, no mighty blow. And we've got, so he's going to be blitzing with the Roger. And we've got a blodge gutter, a Rog gutter, a sidestep gutter, and a strip gutter. No leader on the thrower, and 12 players with an Apo. So not particularly good against Necro. And Jim knows how to set up against the 1 turn, even with Juggernaut. So I suspect we will see Jim just win in regular time there. Next up, we have Dire Lion versus Jeff is. Jeff is a good player, so I'm giving it to him based on the names. Dire Lion has Amazons, though, and he's gone for... Wait, what? Okay, this is... Well, this is wrong, obviously. I don't know what's happened here. This says human blocker, human blitzer. This is, I guess, an issue with Galentio's website. But obviously this is Jaguars because it has the right skill. This will be hit and run. He hasn't got a thing for it yet. It's just the website has a bit of an issue. Don't worry about it. I'm sure Galentio will fix it at some point. Double guard. I do think one block, one guard is better. We've got a Blodge and a Rog Piranha. Double thrower. I think that's just the way the money works out. I hope. I don't think... Wait. Do Amazon throwers come with safe pass? Okay, so these are not skills. Thank God for that. I just... Literally, my brain blanked on whether they came with it. So he's got double blodge, so it's just 6 skills. Okay, that makes sense. 12 men, Apo, 3 rerolls. I think if you had block guard, blitzer, block guard here, this would be pretty standard. You could also go block wrestle here as well for the double wrestle, just in case you get a bash team. And instead we've got rats, so double blocks worked out for him. And but the thing is, have we got Rogerless rats here? No, he's just hidden down the bottom, and it is a Juggernaut Roger. And we've got Tackle Blitzer, which will come in handy for him, Guard Blitzer, and then Blodge, Rog, Strip. But no sidestep because he's gone for the Leader Thrower with 2 rerolls and an Apo. Oh, it's hard, though. I'm going to give it to Jeff is. I think, because I don't know him, I think he'll probably screw up his anti-one turn, and Jeff is will one turn him for the win. Next up, we have a monster matchup for the first round. We have Misspelled Tree and a Diomlord, both heavily into the tabletop world. Diomlord, the better player. But Tree, no slouch. So let's have a look at what the matchups are like to decide who's going to win that. Tree's almost certainly playing Woodies. Yep. 11 players and an Apo, very light. 2 rerolls, so we have to have a leader thrower. One of the problems with the Woody is, you know, it's hard to protect. You can't protect the both dancers and the catchers and the leader thrower. You just can't. So this will all be online. This is the Blood Bowl 3 World Cup, yeah. World Championship, sorry. They call it the World Championship, not the World Cup. So you just end up having to expose good players, normally the catchers. And they get clipped depending on what the other team is. So we don't have a skill on the Tree. We do have Strip. I know the Tree, she loves the Frenzy Dancer. And normally, again, this is one of the problems, right? Normally a Frenzy Dancer is a good pick. It's a good pick in tabletop. It's a good pick in random tournament and things. But the better your opponent, the worse this skill gets. And Diomlord, one of the 2 best players in Italy. So, not that Frenzy, he's not going to let you surf anything unless he's like had a couple of whiskeys before the game or something. So we got a catcher with sidestep, and then we got 2 linos with dodge and wrestle. So let's have a look at what team. I don't even know what Diomlord is playing. Humans. Okay, I'm giving it to Diomlord. Humans are good at one thing, and it's beating up elves. That's like the one thing they're good at. Cash prizes for the final round. There's no prizes in this round. This is to qualify for the money rounds. Actually, this is to qualify for the qualifier for the money rounds. Whoever gets through from the playoffs or the play-ins goes into the group stage. Whoever comes out of the group stage is playing for money. So there are 3 stages. This is stage 1. I think the top prize this year is like 2,500 euros. So we have an Ogre with guard. We have the Mighty Blow tackle stack, which will do work. 3 guard. We have a block thrower, which means that, strip ball does nothing. And we have guard for the cage, so anyone diving in is going to have problems. Like, humans are just built to twat wood elves, and Diom Lord's not going to make those errors. So I gotta give it to Diom Lord. He even brought an extra guard, just in case, so we can use these elsewhere and stick this on a cage corner. Never is the answer, Kangxian. There's too much RNG in Blood Bowl for real money to be involved. Next up, we have Tector versus Pastek. I know the name Pastek, so based on coaches, we're going with Pastek. Lizards for Tector, standard 6 block build with the Chameleon Skink, 2 rerolls in the Apo, and Nobility. Interesting matchup, actually. You don't see a lot of like Lizards in Nobility, so this will be an interesting game because you have the blockers who hate being tagged off and like to free each other, like, stand next to each other to free one or whatever. And then you have a bunch of bloody stand firm. So unless the blockers roll either a POW or take the wrestle and knock themselves down, they don't free the other Saurus. So interesting team to run into. Means you got to keep really on top of your positioning with your Saurus. And we've gone with the block Ogre, 4 guards. The stack is on a Blitzer, which is a Blodge Sure Hands. And then we've gone with a Tackle Blitzer rather than another Blodge Blitzer, which is really handy against Skinks to bring a block tackle with you. And then we've got 2 throwers, I'm assuming, again, because that's how the money works. And it gives you someone who isn't a crappy peasant. And one of them's gone with Leader because it's a 2 reroll build, because Imperial Nobility are inexplicably expensive because they're no Apo either. I'm still going to go with Pastek, but, he's brought Nobility, so he could easily lose. They're rubbish. Next up, we've got Beltronico versus Bigodin. Bigodin, well known, but not particularly good as a player. Beltronico from Fumble that I know him from. So I'm going to give this to Belt based on the names. But let's have a look at the teams. And this is one of the issues. Belt has brought Underworld. And I don't know. I'm going to have to look up on Blood Bowl 3 if he's got any inducements. Give me a sec. He's got a bribe. Okay, so this team has a bribe. And he's got a Dirty Player Goblin to go with it, which is a secondary. He's got 2 Wrestle Rats. He's got 2 extra arms on the thrower. Okay, I guess that gives him the pickup. And then he's got 2 heads on the gutter and Juggernaut. So he's kind of leaning into the 1 turn there. Like, you couldn't get more of a 1 turn build than putting extra arms on the thrower to make it a 1 in 36 pickup. And 2 heads on the gutter for the extra dodging. And the Juggernaut Roger. This is probably the best 1 turn in the game. Underworld built to 1 turn. Everything's a 1 in 36, including any dodges with Snotlings to fill in gaps. He could have gone with Sidestep. I don't think you need it because you can fill in gaps with the Snotlings. So I just don't think you need it. This means you can field the gutter and it rather than just hide it. He's got guard on the Blitzer as well to help with that 1 turn. So I like this. It's leaning into not playing Blood Bowl, which is the problem that most people have with it. Like, you just want everything to survive for the 1 turn, and then you Daka to win. Bigodin, however, sadly for Belt, has brought humans again. And, for the purposes of beating people up, Underworld and rats count as elves. So humans, that's their thing, beating up elves. Whether they're furry elves, goblin-y elves, or regular elves, that's their thing. So Belt is going to have an issue with keeping everything alive until turn 8. There's no DP. He has got a bunch of bench, though, so he could still foul if you lie down. So, yeah. Going to be up to Belt how he plays it. He could play really passive, but he's still likely to lose, a number of players on the drive. I'm still going to give it to Belt. But if he takes too much damage, which is really easy, then it's Bigodin's probably in overtime. Next up, we have Dastardly Dan, who's brought goblins. So whoever Jamelius is, I'm picking you. His goblin build, I guess I'll try and find him as well on Blood Bowl 3 to find out if he had inducements, because they don't show on the site. What's this team name called? Oh, okay. Oh my god, he's brought goblins with no bribes. Just none. Okay, definitely lost. That's one of the most awful things I've heard of. Sure, he's got Varag and Ripper and double trolls, one of which has block and the leader, but it's just not reliable enough. This team's just going to fall apart without the bribes. And he's against orcs, so Varag, Ripper, and the trolls not going to do much, are they? Double block, double guard, mighty blow, and tackle for the goblins. So he's going to take some damage as well as lose all of his shit as soon as it's on the pitch once. Yeah, it's the orcs. I'm going with the orcs. You should, Peneth. You absolutely should care to try and keep your better things on, and more importantly, to not get your killer sent off first foul. That's a 1 in 6 still. It's still a 1 in 6 to get caught. Oh, sorry. DeMarcos versus Dakath. I've never heard of either of them, so toss up who's good. We have Pro Elves with no stacks. Wait, what? No stacks and a naked guard Lino. This is terrible. So unless the other build is also terrible, this is lost. Oh god, I was gonna say what the hell is this, but he's like got his team upside down. No stack on the humans either. So okay, both of these teams not well built. Was that a cannon? No. Oh, this one's got cannon. Oh god, this one's got cannoneer thrower. Okay, this could be one of the fun games of the first round. I suspect both of these players not good based on that. So let's give it to the humans based on attrition and move on quickly. We have Ginaflix with lizards versus Metavana with something else. Looks like it might be Pro Elves. I don't know. I don't know what's happened here. I've clicked the coaches instead of the teams. That's what's happened there. 5 block and a sneaky git. Ugh. I don't like that. You've only got one bench. You're going to take damage anyway. I don't like leaning into getting yourself sent off. And humans who do have the Mighty Blow tackle stack, so will again be killing skinks, so getting yourself sent off, not great. Standard build, block, 3 guard, wrestle, and block on the catchers. 3 rerolls, 14 men and an Apo. Fouling's going to be useless there. Okay, we'll give that to the humans. Pretty easy. Let's move on. So this one's interesting. Toast Guy versus Copto. I played Copto the other day, and I would give this to Toast Guy 9 times out of 10 based on the coaches. However, small problem, Toast Guy has brought Black Orcs. I don't know if it's a bet. I don't know if he's like just obsessed with Black Orcs at the moment or something, but Black Orcs are just not good. And Toast Guy is good, so I have no idea why he's brought Black Orcs in a money competition. He's got a block troll, 2 block Black Orcs, one of which is stacked with Mighty Blow, 2 guard. Wait, on 2 more block, that's annoying. I thought it was going to be 2 guard and 2 Mighty Blow or something, but no. Okay, and then we've got a DP Goblin and a Sneaky Git Goblin, and I'm going to look up to see if he has any bribes. You would hope so, right? With those fouling pieces. He's in the next round, Kunxian, so we'll cover him when we get there. What's this team called? Bognar's Day Out. Yes, there are 3 rounds. There were 2 types of ticket. If you go back to the start of the video, you'll hear how it works. Some people are waiting already in the group rounds. 32 people. There's 64 in this round. 32 will go through to join the other 32 for a 64-man group round, where we'll lose another 32, and then there'll be a 32-man money tournament. So lots of Blood Bowl. All right, he has 1 bribe. Good. That'll help. It's a bit of a banger build for, like, a banger team and a banger build for someone who's good at Blood Bowl, so... And he's up against Necro, a regen team, which is not good. Double Wolves to take out the Armor 9 Black Orcs. Blodge Ghoul. This is the proper build. Oh, that's going to be tough. Is Copto good enough to not give him crazy gang fouls? Which is, you know, because he's got grab, but he's also got stand firm. Grab completely removes the sidestep of the Wraiths. With 2020, the rules changed. There used to be that grab and sidestep cancelled each other out and turned it into a regular block. But then they buffed grab for some reason or another. And now grab just works against sidestep. So I don't know why they did that, but they just did. Oh God, fine. Toast Guy. I'll give it a Toast Guy. I hate it, but I'll give it a Toast Guy. Next up, we've got Pain versus Rio Bravo. No idea. Looks a bit like Rats versus Necro. I guess we'll find out. Juggernaut, Guard, Tackle, Sidestep, Block, Strip, Leader. We've already seen this build. Perfectly fine. Leans into the 1 turn. And then, oh, it's Amazons. Okay. Skull and Crossbones. 1 block, 1 guard. Pretty good. We're still with the human things. I don't know what's going on with that, Galentio. 1 block, 1 wrestle. A block thrower and a wrestle lino and no second thrower. Okay. Why did one have 2 throwers then? What are you swapping for the 2 throwers? I don't understand why one had 2 throwers and this one doesn't have 2 throwers. I guess I don't care. Yes, this build better. I prefer the 1 block, 1 guard build. I like the 1 block, 1 wrestle, so this would be my Amazon build, almost certainly. And I'm going to give it to the Zons. Next up, we have Slender Loris versus Frankie129. Again, no offense to the people I haven't heard of. You're just from leagues or whatever. I don't follow League Blood Bowl around the world. So, lots of people qualified from leagues in countries I would never have a chance to see. So I just don't know you. It's fine. And we've got double block on the Piranhas, and then double wrestle on Linos, and no skill on the thrower. So suboptimal Amazon build, in my opinion. But I don't mind the block if you go in wrestle. But wrestle, Lino, and block thrower would probably be my thing. He kind of has to carry on a blitzer, and then the thrower's superfluous. And you're missing a blitzer. Not that I mind carrying on a blitzer. It's movement 7, and it's got hit and run, so it's pretty good anyway. But it takes one of the blitzers out of the fight. And he is against Old World Alliance, okay? I like seeing these lesser teams. Old World Alliance are kind of... They always seem better than they end up playing. I don't know why. Old World Alliance should be a good team. I don't know what it is that's wrong with them. Oh, thank you, Kind. Okay, Kind is saying this team has a bribe. I don't like a sneaky git and a bribe. I just don't get it. A bribe synergizes with DP. A sneaky git is there to just foul for fun. A DP is there to foul for damage, and the bribe synergizes with the damage fouling. No, I don't think it's Loner, because most of the stuff with Loner has something else that means that Loner isn't too bad. Like, for example, the dwarves are the ones with Loner, right? And the Blitzer and the Slayer have block, and the two dwarf Linors have brawler. So Loner doesn't really affect them that much. I will say I like the Augur over the tree. I don't like the tree in this matchup. And he's leaned into the tree to try and counter why I don't like the tree, which is you can roll a 1 on turn 1 or on turn 9, and the tree's out of the drive, which is super annoying. If you roll a 1 with an Augur, it's only out of the turn. So he's tried to lean into that, but it still doesn't change it, right? It's a 1 in 9 to be out. Not quite, but close enough. And the skills are down here. We got a Mighty Blow tackle stack on a blitzer. We got block on a catcher. We got leader on a thrower. And then we got a naked human guard. Yeah, I don't know why guard isn't on the Slayer, who can also have strength skills. It's just on a naked human. I don't know. Or like Mighty Blow to lean into damage, since you've got 3 Mighty Blow then. 1 with pro, 2 with block. Like, could lean into damage. You've got enough guard. Like, you've got 3 guard, and the tree doesn't need any help. No idea. And I don't know either of them are. And this doesn't have great skills against Amazons. It's got the Mighty Blow tackle stack. Screw it. Let's go with the Old World Alliance. Good luck, Frankie. Next up, we have Kind versus Old School Crew and Tour. And who are Old School? What's this T? I mean, they're both using symbols that don't tell you what they're playing. I happen to know what Kind is playing because it's Dark Elves with an Assassin, which is why he mentioned it earlier. I hate the Assassin. So 11 men on the Apo with 3 rerolls. 4 Blodge Blitzers and a Rog Witch Elf at least. It's just the Assassin that lets it down. Like, the money build works when you do this with 4 Blodge Blitzers and a Witch Elf. The money works out for the Assassin because what else are you going to do with the 35k? So I get the build, but it's just so bad. And again, we've got Old World Alliance. Interesting. Double Old World Alliance. I've never heard of Tour, is the thing. We've got Guard on the Ogre, Guard on the Blitzer, Guard on the Blockers, Guard on the Slayer, Mighty Blow Tackle, Naked Catcher, Leader, and then 2 more Guard. 7 Guard on this Old World Alliance team, and they've run into Dark Elves who don't give a shit about Guard. So, okay. Kind of interesting. They've tooled up for a bash fest, and they've got an elf team. I'm going to be kind, no pun intended, and give it to kind, even with an assassin, because I've never heard of the other guy, and he's also playing Old World Alliance. Tyra versus Metal Malta. Metal Malta is decent. Seems like an annoying person in real life, but decent player. Don't Tyra looks like he's playing humans. I can't tell what Metal Malta is playing, so let's find out. Again with the naked human line. You could put this guard on a catcher, and then it comes with dodge and is very mobile. What's with the naked human linos with guard in this thing?
Gonna be kind, sir.
Thank you very much, Sliker. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the Penguin Academy. Um, okay, I mean it's a human build, and his opponent is Old World Alliance. Did all the Old World Alliance get together and just decide to like get jumped right next to each other? Thank you for the follow. Just Raise the Dead. Just gonna call you Raise in the future. And we have a Pro Tree again. I just take the Ogre. 3 Guard. We got Mighty Blow on the Slayer. We got the Mighty Blow Tackle stack. We got Block on a Catcher, Block on a Thrower, a Halfling, and a Wrestle Lino. Okay. I think that's better. Into Humans, interesting matchup. I'll go with the Old World Alliance. We're fine. That's 2 Old World Alliance I've picked. Makes me feel weird. Next up, we have Forced Unlocked versus Surveillance. I'm going to go with Surveillance based on the names and the fact that one of them seems to be playing Corn, which is a terrible idea. Although it also looks like Surveillance is playing Rats, which is bad when you get Corn. Oh, we've got a Blood Spawn. We've got a Block Blood Spawn. And we've got 2 Block Blood Seekers, 2 Guard Blood Seekers. We've got 2 Guard Corn Gores. And Shuahan's 2 Heads Corn Gore. Not certain about that. I would be much happier with just Block. And 2 rerolls. Especially, I'd be even more happier with Block with 2 rerolls. And Surveillance has Juggernaut, Guard, Mighty Blow, which would be handy against Corn, Sidestep, Block, Naked, Strip, and Leader. Strip does nothing. This is why I don't really like the Naked Strip Gutter. I get why the Rats keep taking it, just in case, but it just feels like you just got a Naked Gutter when your opponent has Shoe Hands, which is like 50% of the team. Sure, I'll still stick with Surveillance. Too easy to get banged out, though, isn't it? So But I'll still stick with surveillance. If he gets banged out, he gets banged out. Next up, we have Justicium versus... okay. Surzasti? Am I just going to ignore, like, the Zs? If you're out there, please tell me how your name is said. Just on the names, going with Justicium. And not because I don't like his name, but Justicium's a well-known player. Top-level tabletop player. And he's got undead. Not much undead, by the way. It's the first undead we've seen. And we've got double guard on the mummies. A guard blitzer and then a tackle blitzer. Double block on ghouls and then 2 naked ghouls. 12 players, 3 rerolls. And an assistant coach. Maybe that's why there's not much undead. They don't look great, do they? They feel so bland. But they do come with 2 mighty blow and 3 guard and 2 strength 5, so, you know, they're never terrible. Okay. More goblins. Hence the team name. What have we got here? We got fungus. Just fungus this time. So how many bribes has this guy got? Kind. We got a block troll. We got a brawler troll. Dodge loony. Pass an accurate bomber again. Pogoer with sure hands. There's some other goblins. I assume he's got a lot of bribes because there's no second star player. And only 2 rerolls with no leader. No Apo. This has got to be 3 bribes and a biased ref or something, hasn't it? 2 bribes and a biased ref. Okay. Yeah, no, it's Justicium, isn't it? Like, unless the first 3 turns are a complete dice in for the goblins, it's just over after that. Next up, we have Plo versus Unicorn Sun. Let's go with Plo. It looks like it's Lizards versus Norse. Just a guess based on those things. It's okay, never mind. Come on. What's with what? Stop it, people. That's a lizard emblem. Oh, it's it's not the exact same team. He's got sure hands and block. I don't like the sure hands ghoul, especially with 3 rerolls. It seems completely unnecessary. And he's gone with, is that 15 players? No, is no number 9 and no number 5. Okay, so it's 13 players, 3 rerolls. What happened to, there was a 4th ghoul on the other team. Am I missing something? And what have we got against him? Necro. Okay, again, I guess North Claw. The Claw is Necro. I thought we was going to be Norse with a Yeti, but it's not. Standard, almost standard build, isn't it? Like, except he's got the wrestle block, wolves, and a blodge ghoul, and another ghoul. Has this second ghoul cost him a 3rd reroll? If so, that's a really bad swap in a overtime format. Please don't do that, people. So I'm going to give it to Plo, because that's a bad idea. You got no block on the flashies, no block on the ghoul or any of the zombies. You don't want 2 rerolls in overtime format. Next up, the other, like, good first round matchup, PC versus Crystal. Based on coaches, we're giving it the PC. And obviously, with his team name of the Rat Baron, Crystal's going to play rats. So we've got triple blodge blitzers, 2 wrestle witches, and the leader runner. The leader runner with 3 rerolls, 11 men in the Apo. So he gets 4 rerolls, which is kind of interesting in overtime format. It's dropped a blitzer. for the 3 rerolls and leader. So we'll see how that works out for him. It's not a bad idea. Seems interesting to try. And then Crystal has gone with 2 rerolls and leader. And he's got a naked gutter, the strip gutter, which will actually come in handy against elves. Wrestle and block gutters. Mighty blow and guard rather than tackle, which I like better. And the Juggernaut Roger. No. Nobody can except stunties. Good game. Looking forward to that one. And here we go. There's 2 of them here. Next up, we have Romwindu versus Huju. And I can't remember what the command is. Is that it? No. God damn it. Give me a second. I'm going to go and look up the commands. Oh, it was the other way around. What? Why isn't that working? That's weird. That should work. And none of my commands working? Oh, that'll be why then. For some reason, my bot is down. No, I'm doing something, Hillsby. Obviously. Okay, anyway, I don't want to get into a big thing. It would have just been easier if the command had popped up on screen and I didn't have to talk about it. But 2 of these last 8 people were in a group of cheats from a French group who spun into each other and match fixed on ladder. So I'm not happy that I have to do them in the World Cup. So obviously I'm going to just give the win to the other guys and hope that it's correct. This is one of them. He's got Old World Alliance. I don't care about his team. I'm not going to give him any attention. This is the Amazon team, and it's got double guard. You know I prefer block guard. He's got wrestle there instead of here, so it looks like... But he's got block on the thrower, which means one of these should be wrestle as well. But hopefully Huju wins, and I don't have to put up with the other guy. We have Sigare versus Gomez M80. No idea who these people are. Sigare's bought Renegades. Probably the only Renegade player, I would think. And he's also brought the Human Thrower for some reason. Oh, I guess to have leader, obviously. He's got the stack on the Dark Elf for Blodge. He's got a block Lino. He's got no skill on the Orc. Sneaky Git. I just don't like the Roger. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was going to say just take a minnow, and then I've noticed he's also taking a minnow. Okay, this build is, yeah. It be bad. Don't take both of them. Please just be a normal team, the other guy. 6 block lizards, all right? Congratulations, Gomez M80, for being 6 block lizards. Oh, he's gone for 11 men and the 3rd reroll instead of the Chameleon Skink, so he's going to be bench light, even though he's got an Apo. So Yeah, good luck, and for having a regular team. The other team's insane. Magic versus Enchantress Faye. And Enchantress Faye, I think, is Lady Faye from Crystal's little group. Magic normally playing Pro Elves, here playing Dark Elves, and gone for 4 Blodge, Wrestle, and the Assassin. This is the same build as you, right, kind? Like identical? Or have you got 12 players, no Apo? I don't remember. Yeah, am I correct in guessing that it's the way the money works out? Like you can't do anything else with the 35. So people are taking the Assassin instead of... That's probably why. Just the weird money ways. I think, okay. Was not expecting that. Enchantress Faye has brought Nurgle with 2 rerolls and a leader Pestigore. A naked leader Pestigore. With a stand firm Rotspawn, 4 block bloaters, a block mighty blow pesty, a wrestle pesty, a tackle pesty, 13 men. Okay. Huh. Well, okay then. I mean, just based on play, you've got to assume that Magic's gonna dance around, but with only 11 men, maybe. With only 11 men, it is vulnerable to damage, but there's only this one, like, Pestigore doing it. So, yeah, okay, I'll give it a Magic, but you can see, like, these teams, you know, they stand a chance just by virtue of rolling some 8s, right? That's their big thing. It's not like it's not going to be about play. It's going to be whether they can roll some 8s. But I'll give it a Magic. And then the very last matchup is, you know, a problem for me because one of them seems to be Black Orcs and the other one's a cheat. A really, really annoying loudmouth cheat. So the Black Orcs have gone triple Mighty Blow, triple Guard, Sneaky Git, Block Troll, and Shuahan's Troll. I have no idea if they got any bribes, but please, for the love of God, just win so I don't have to keep mentioning that this guy should have no place in the World Cup. They qualify from some random league somewhere. They basically had no punishment for cheating, brutal. You know, I don't know whether that's cyanide. I mean, the problem was that like they're a French group and they play in a league where multiple of the people involved with Blood Bowl game also play because they're French. So it was pretty annoying to see them get very little punishment. For being caught blatantly cheating, and then worse when they were caught, instead of saying sorry, just being ginormous dickheads about it. So hopefully this team just dies and we don't have to see them. I'm not going to talk about the cheats. They're just done. So yeah, that's the end of that. We will see how right I was when we do the games. And again, there's a lot of games. So I'm going to be downloading them, and I might even end up being behind. I think all 32 of these games have to be played in a week. Doing 32 casts in a week is a full-time job. So I think I'm just going to be behind. Because then they all have to play again next week. And again the week after that. So we might miss some and just slot them back into the playlist later when I got nothing to do. Yes, brutal. So we will see you in the next videos, and we'll see how much of this playlist I actually manage. Oh, my bot just woke up and just spammed a bunch of messages. There we go. The middle one is the explanation for the cheating thing. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.